Hi everybody, I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live. Thanks for joining us here on the show. It is technically episode 17, the first one here on Facebook. If this is your first time watching LCJ Live, I'll explain what it is. Every week, Sundays at noon Eastern, I break down the box office, which is the big breaking news. You guys can send in questions and comments, and we talk about some of the other big entertainment news going on. So that is pretty cool. Thank you very much for watching today. This show was, for the first 16 episodes, over on Twitter. Having some Twitter issues. I don't know if you've seen it in the news. Getting locked out of Twitter. Other people locked out of their Twitters because of their age. But you know what? Glad to be here on Facebook. Thank you, Carson Earl, for joining us here on LCJ Live. My buddy Rabbit over here. Hey, coming up, we'll talk about Christopher Robin, which I think is one of the best movies of the year. How did it do at the box office? Hey, Peter Goodwin, thanks for being here on LCJ Live. We'll also talk about some interesting Brady Bunch news, a lot of new developments in that, a fantastic new documentary I watched the other day, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming back to television. I'll give you a little preview of that, and several big movies opening up this week. So let's get right to it. The box office is out, and Mission Impossible Fallout has won the weekend box office easily with $35 million. It was a close battle after Friday between Mission Impossible and Christopher Robin, which had done more than $8 million, I think, on combined Thursday and Friday. But Mission Impossible with the runaway $35 million compared to Christopher Robin's $25 million. Now, I think Disney should still be very happy with Christopher Robin making as much as it did. 2011's animated Winnie the Pooh movie only made about $27 million total. So look at what's happened. Obviously, this is a very different kind of Winnie the Pooh movie. It is live action. It is featuring these CGI characters and them coming to life, and Ewan McGregor playing the live action Christopher Robin. And I think it's a fantastic film. It is sweet, it is strange, it is bold, it is very different. It is directed by Mark Forster, who I officially think is one of my favorite directors out there. He did Finding Neverland. Excellent movie about the Peter Pan story. Stranger Than Fiction, a Will Ferrell comedy that should have gotten more play when it came out in 2006. I thought Stranger Than Fiction was a really clever, unique film with Will Ferrell in it. And then World War Z, which is a completely different movie. It's Brad Pitt, it's zombies, it's all of that. Mark Forster did all those and this Christopher Robin movie. He is definitely one of my favorites. Peter Goodwin says, Mission Impossible is a great movie. Glad you enjoyed it. I think Fallout is the best of the last three Mission Impossible movies. So Christopher Robin in second place with $25 million. I highly recommend adults go see Christopher Robin. I think you're going to get more out of it than kids. Kids, you'll like the energy of it, the fun, the playfulness in the second and third acts, but parents are going to get a lot out of this movie altogether, including the themes and the messages and the dramatic elements. So please go see Christopher Robin. Do not go see the movie that came in third place this weekend, The Spy Who Dumped Me, which made $12.4 million. Mila Kunis, Kate McKinnon, action comedy, which I think is atrocious. So unfunny. And I love Kate McKinnon. I think she's great with great material and her unique comedic timing. But when it comes to this movie, it just doesn't work. I didn't laugh once during the entire time of The Spy Who Dumped Me, so do not go see that. Fourth place this weekend, Mamma Mia, here we go again with $9.1 million, followed by The Equalizer 2, close behind $8.8 million in fifth place. Then several animated movies, a lot of films for families out there right now, several animated movies in the bottom five this weekend. Hotel Transylvania 3, then Ant-Man and the Wasp, Incredibles 2 and Teen Titans Go came in 9th and 10th. In 8th place this weekend was one of the other new releases called The Darkest Minds. This was based on a novel, and I didn't really know much about this novel and this story that it really existed until the trailers for this movie started coming out a little while ago. Mandy Moore is in it. She's been doing the talk show circuit, but it really didn't help. Just $5.8 million for The Darkest Minds this weekend. That is a fairly low open. And the first movie from 20th Century Fox in several months. The first one from them since Deadpool 2. So, Fox not on a winning streak here. They haven't had a movie for a while. And and this Darkest Minds film didn't do anything at all. So that's your top 10. Outside of the top 10 this weekend, Jurassic World finally fell out of it, coming in 11th place, and then 8th Grade, which had an expansion this weekend, moved up to 12th place with another, I think, $2.8 million, which is fairly high for an A24 movie for any kind of weekend. So 8th Grade, if you still haven't seen that movie, please go see 8th Grade. If you're just joining us here on LCJ Live, talking about the big movies that came out this past weekend, but there's a lot opening up this week. We've got several new movies, starting with Dog Days. This is a family comedy about dogs, and it's kind of like those Gary Marshall movies, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, and Mother's Day, where there's a bunch of different stories and they connect together, and in this case, it all has to do with dog owners. So that opens up on Tuesday night. Something Warner Brothers is doing on Wednesday night that is very interesting is Crazy Rich Asians advanced showing, sneak previews all over the country on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. local time. It depends on where you are. And they're going to screen it 1 week early. So I'm going to be seeing Crazy Rich Asians on Wednesday. It doesn't open until the following Wednesday, August 15th. Warner Brothers clearly has confidence that this movie is going to do well, and is going to do well with critics and with audiences. So Crazy Rich Asians, early showings next Wednesday. So reviews will be out. My rapid review will be out early Thursday for Crazy Rich Asians. So a lot to look forward to there with that movie. And then several films opening up on Thursday night. One is a horror movie called Slender Man, which has had a lot of trouble trying to get out there. Some studio issues. What's up, Matt McMahon? Lots of studio issues with Slender Man getting out there. I think Sony Screen Gems is finally going to do it. Get it out there for people to see. Horror movies that'll make $5 or $6 million, if that. Another movie opening up on Thursday, getting a lot of attention, is Spike Lee's new film called Black Klansman. What's up, Madison? How you doing? Black Klansman is the latest film from Spike Lee, and it's got Adam Driver in it and a decent cast, and it is about the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, Spike Lee's going there, and it's getting a lot of attention. Has won some awards already. Focus Features has a lot of confidence in this film, putting it out in 1,500 theaters on Thursday night. But the big movie expected to do very well next weekend for sure is Warner Brothers' film The Meg, starring Jason Statham. Pam and I want to see Crazy Rich Asians, says Peter Goodwin. All right. Jason Statham. What's up, Ashley? How you doing? Jason Statham's in The Meg. It's a shark attack movie, and we've had several of those over the last several years. The Shallows and 47 Meters Down. Now we get The Meg, coming a few weeks after Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. I think it could be a guilty pleasure. A lot of people hope this can be a guilty pleasure. It's got Rainn Wilson in it too, Dwight from The Office. We haven't seen Rainn Wilson do a lot very recently, so he's in this movie. I think a lot of drive-ins are going to benefit from The Meg. I can confirm that the Hollywood Drive-In, which is one of the drive-ins I do the voiceovers for, will get The Meg starting this Friday, August 10th. I think a lot of drive-ins will take advantage of this shark attack movie. What's up, Steven? How you doing? Welcome to LCJ Live. And audiences, maybe even some families, get some scare factor in there, will come out and see The Meg this coming weekend. Warner Brothers, big week for them with Crazy Rich Asians and The Meg. So a lot of big movies. I'll have my rapid reviews of Crazy Rich Asians, The Meg, and Black Klansman all coming up for you this week. Hey, have you heard in the news about the Brady Bunch house trying to get sold? Yeah, it's a crazy story indeed, and it's getting even wilder because last night, Lance Bass said, I'm the new owner of the Brady Bunch house. I got it. He confirmed it online. Maureen McCormick, who played Marcia on the Brady Bunch, congratulated him, all of that. Well, guess what? Now, overnight, Lance Bass says, no, in fact, turns out I didn't get the Brady Bunch house. Even though they told me I had it, it didn't happen. They placed the bid. The agent told them they made the winning bid way above the asking price, according to him, after the final deadline had passed. But turns out, due to, as he says, unforeseen circumstances here on Instagram, the same agent informed us that another corporate buyer, a Hollywood studio, who wants the house at any cost, so they're going to give it to them. So Lance Bass has lost the Brady Bunch house. Here's what I say to that. And how you doing, Tom and Peter? Thanks for joining us here on LCJ Live. Here's what I say to that. You never have something until you have it. Nothing is confirmed until it actually happens. It's a tough thing in the industry. Steven wants to know, where did Lance Bass get that money? I guess he's been saving a lot to try to get that Brady Bunch house. Guess he's been saving a lot of money to try to make that happen. Until something really happens, it doesn't happen. And that's a little complicated and it's a little confusing. But here's the case of Lance Bass. He thought he had it. It was confirmed, but until you got those keys and you're walking in the front door and you got it, you really didn't have the Brady Bunch house. So it's unfortunate. You got to feel kind of bad for Lance Bass, who I'm sure was really excited to get the Brady Bunch house and wanted to keep it intact and wanted to do some cool stuff inside, maybe even turn it into the interior of the Brady Bunch house, but wanted to keep the exterior the same as well. He wanted to really preserve it. What is this Hollywood studio going to do with it? We don't know. Maybe they'll try to make another Brady Bunch movie and use this so they don't have to build a set. But you got to feel bad, unfortunately, for Lance Bass. He is no longer going to be the owner of the Brady Bunch house. That's too bad. What can you do? Hey, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hollywood studio got the house, Peter Goodwin. Hollywood studio is going to get the house. We'll see what happens. Nothing specific, no details further given on that. Hey, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming back to television. Nickelodeon rebooting this franchise again with Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It premieres in a few weeks, but you can actually watch the first episode online right now on Nickelodeon's YouTube page. I watched it. I'm going to have my take on it. Little preview. I liked it. I'm going to have my take on it at lights-camera-jackson.com. Tomorrow in the blog section, my take on the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. You should definitely check out the first episode and comment of what you think of it to Nickelodeon, to myself once I put up the blog tomorrow. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I highly recommend you go on Amazon Prime and watch this new documentary on the history of game shows and the impact of game shows and their hosts. It's called Game Changers. It is hosted by Alex Trebek, who does a bunch of interviews with the late Monty Hall, Pat and Vanna, Regis, Wink Martindale, Tom Kennedy's in it. Howie Mandel tells an incredible story of how he got the Deal or No Deal gig. Drew Carey's in it. So many amazing stories, insights, tidbits, trivia, but you get the history of game shows as well. Not everything, but a good majority of it. And if you're into game shows, it is just so much fun, and you have a smile on your face through the whole thing, and you learn things that'll blow your mind. Like Richard Dawson's wife was first a contestant on Family Feud. Crazy. Richard Dawson's son is in the film too. He talks about several things, some agents, some producers, game show creators, game show hosts. Talk about game shows. And I know Alex Trebek just said recently, within the last week or so, that he will probably leave Jeopardy in 2 years. A lot of things Alex Trebek talks about in this documentary, Game Changers, about his life of game shows. Really fascinating to watch. I've got my complete review of that at lights-camera-jackson.com. Again, it's called Game Changers, and it is really one of the best documentaries of the year so far. So please check that out. Also, my podcast in the podcast section at lights-camera-jackson.com with Josh Weinstein. He is the showrunner of Disenchantment, which is an upcoming Netflix series created by Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons. It's a brand new animated series, and Josh Weinstein was great to talk with. So go to the podcast section at lights-camera-jackson.com for my LCJ Q&A with Josh Weinstein. Hey, guess what? I got my pal here. Here's Winnie the Pooh, and here's my other pal, Tigger. Once again, if you're just joining the show here, LCJ Live, here they are. $25 million for Christopher Robin, which I think Disney is very happy with. Disney is also happy with the fact that they were able to put Black Panther finally over the $700 million mark at the box office. They were finally able to get it there because Black Panther ended up in more drive-ins across the country this weekend. Maybe paired with Christopher Robin. So, hello from Pooh and Tigger. Congrats on $25 million. Richard Dawson was a god, says Tom. One of the best game show hosts of all time. There's a fascinating story in this documentary about how Richard Dawson made the transition from Match Game to Family Feud and how it wasn't easy. And that William Shatner was the first choice for Family Feud. How crazy is that? That is true. That's all in Game Changers. How come your Twitter disappeared, Jackson? I'm not off Twitter completely. My new Twitter is at LCJ Live. The old Twitter at LCJ Reviews, I decided to go in and put my birthday. My birthday is coming up. I've never been able to put it in before. What's up, Isabella? Thanks for joining us here on LCJ Live. I put it in, and it locked me out of my account because the account started up before I was 13 years old, and now they have new measures that have been implemented from new European laws that you got to be 13 on Twitter. So do not put in your birthday if you have a Twitter account and you started it up before you're 13 years old. Just don't do it at all because they will lock your account. Twitter has not been able to unlock it yet. I haven't received any response from them over the last 6 days. I've called, I've emailed, I have direct message, I've put out messages on public Twitter. Nothing back from them, though I have a verified Twitter account. So we'll see if something happens, but for now, I'm at LCJ Live on Twitter. Hopefully the at LCJ Reviews verified account will get back up and running, but go to LCJ Live for my Twitter accounts, Twitter messages, posts, all of that for now. So, yes. Here's Pooh and Tigger, $25 million for Christopher Robin. It's one of the few A's I've given so far this year. The other one was Ready Player One. These are definitely two of the best films of the year so far. If you still haven't seen Ready Player One, I highly recommend that. So Mission Impossible is your #1 movie. Christopher Robin still did well. Lance Bass did not get the Brady Bunch house after all. And we've got a lot of big movies opening up. Crazy Rich Asians sneak preview. If it's in your area, maybe you want to check it out this Wednesday night. Crazy Rich Asians. The Meg opens up this weekend along with Black Klansman. I'll have my rapid reviews of all three coming up for you later this week. And tomorrow, go to the blog section at lights-camera-jackson.com for my take on Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's what we do here with LCJ Live. We talk about the box office, the latest entertainment news. I'll talk about some of the stuff I'm working on, and you get to comment and send in your questions. We're going to do it again here next Sunday at noon Eastern, another episode of LCJ Live. If you want to see past episodes of LCJ Live, go to youtube.com/lightscamerajackson. In the LCJ Live section, it's got some past episodes. And on Periscope as well, Lights, Camera, Jackson, LCJ Reviews. Look for some of the previous episodes on the Periscope account as well. Thanks for joining us here on LCJ Live. Thank you, Spencer, for being here with us, and everybody else for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. I'm Lights, Camera, Jackson. Have a great week, and keep it real at the movies. Bye-bye.